Good evening, everyone. Uh, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this senior junior interaction session of MAIT Delhi, a platform where experience meets enthusiasm and guidance fuels growth. True guidance is like a small torch in dark forest. It doesn't show everything at once, but it gives enough light for the next step, said by the great Swami Vivekanand. Uh, Founded in 2010, Real Time Data Services (RTDS) is a globally recognized group of companies specializing in information technology with a strong focus on cloud computing and cloud telephony. Headquarters in India, RTDS has established itself as a market leader, serving over 8,000 clients worldwide with innovative and reliable technology solutions. The company is committed to empowering business across various industries by delivering cutting edge services that enhance operational efficiency and ensure business continuity. Uh, So, before we move ahead, I would like to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to retired Brigadier S.K. Kakkar sir, the Director of CDC MATE, and Mr. Amit Gautam, Training and Placement Officer of Career Development Cell. So, today with us, we have Mr. Arshdeep Singh, who is a software development intern at RTDS. We are, it's our great pleasure to have you with us, sir.
Hi, thanks for the warm welcome.
Hello, sir.
Hello. So, a brief introduction about myself. I had joined RTDS as an intern here in January, and it has been 6 months over here. So, my role is of a software developer, and it has been a great journey working here so far. And I'm looking forward to this session, and I hope that all the attendees, keep it a very interactive session. And any doubts, any queries you have regarding the role, regarding the company, feel free to reach out and just make this senior junior interaction very interactive and effective.
So, sir, I would like to start the Q&A session with you. So, my
Okay.
first question would be, what kind of roles are typically offered to interns or fresh graduates at RTDS?
Okay. So the fact is that one thing that I would like to highlight is that RTDS is one of the companies that comes on campus at Meet. And last time it offered, I guess, three roles. For software development, there was a role of associate software developer. Along that, for DevOps, there is a role, and also in non-technical but cloud-related roles, there is also another role called cloud consultant. So for these three roles, our company came onto the campus, and since this year they have also started a new role for AIML hiring. I don't know whether they're hiring for that more or not, but these are the three roles which were there last year.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So, I would like to ask the next question. So,
Okay.
for someone preparing for placement at RTDS, what would you say are the most important skills or knowledge areas to focus on?
Okay. So there is no hard and fast rule, but I can uh, channel the question role wise. So, for the technical roles that I am aware of, there are two roles: software development and DevOps. For software development, core skills like programming and development you should be very well informed of. And the tech stack that we use here is Next and React. So, for most of us in our college, we usually do web programming that aligns with what is being used here. Just the level is that what projects you make, those scale at a different level in the industry. So for someone who is aspiring to be a software developer at RTDS, I would say make sure that your uh, core skills like JavaScript and React along with backend development with Node.js. Those are very clear. Apart from that, if you know how to write good code, not just code, but good code, for example, using OOPS and using design principles in your code, then that is a plus during the interview. For example, if you can show them in your projects that whatever the industry is using on the inside, we have already used that in our projects, that will be very good for you. And coming for the DevOps role, I would say that more of the CI/CD pipelines and how you deploy your applications. That will be something uh, that will be asked both in the interview and on the floor when you will be working. Those are the things that you will be working with.
Okay, sir. That was helpful information. So,
Yeah.
sir, what was the interview process like for you? Was there an online test or multiple rounds?
Okay, so the last year the format was that the company visited us on campus. The online assessment that was organized in our labs, which have a very good infrastructure. So we had all our OAs hosted over there, and after that they selected some students for the next rounds, where we had some HR online round. After that shortlisting, we went to an interview round. So that interview round that comprised of technical questions. For example, your four concepts that we say: OS, computer networks, DBMS, and OOPS. So those were asked in the interview. Apart from that, the heavy focus was on your projects and how they align with the the coding uh, tech stack that is used here. So, for example, if you are good in backend, then they would ask more questions about how MongoDB is, how do we scale that, and how do we interact with MongoDB on the shell itself. So, firm basic fundamental questions were most asked in the interview. Apart from that technical interview, we also had a CTO round, which was, I would say, mix of technical and non-technical, where we were asked how to make scalable systems, and behavioral questions were also asked in that interview, situation based. For example, you were given a situation and you were given two options. How would you react in that situation? So that is done to evaluate your personality and how aligned you can and how you align with the goals and vision of how a company is run, how you display your leadership skills. So that was the format of the interview over there.
Okay, sir. And sir, what were the types of projects or certification that helped strengthen your profile?
Okay, like I just pointed out, my role is of a software developer. Now, a software developer, whenever you work in the industry, you never have exact requirements on what you are working for. The requirements always come from a business. So like I said, if I am working in a cloud company and I am a software developer, it is not a prerequisite for me to know cloud, because that is the business requirement that is coming in. As a software developer, what is your primary skill? Problem solving skills. You do not know the problem beforehand. So the same concept was applied to us. It was not expected for us to know cloud uh, fundamentals for the software development role, because that is something that is transferred from us from the DevOps team. But if you are applying for a DevOps role over here, then you are expected to know all of the cloud fundamentals, Linux fundamentals, and how to deploy your application, how to Dockerize, how to containerize your application, and how to scale those applications. And as for the certification part that you asked, in my case, I did not have any cloud certifications. All of the cloud related stuff that is over there, I learned here on floor while working. But for DevOps role, if you have cloud practitioner of AWS, that gives you an edge in the interview. For example, while in the project section, you can show that I have deployed my application and I have containerized it and I know the basic principles of that. But yes, this is all about what is required for uh, giving the interviews.
Okay, sir. Uh, and sir, how is your internship experience going so far?
Well, the internship experience is quite good. Um, when I came over here, I'll tell you one specific thing, that the this company, this tech stack is mostly on web development. So in my college years, what I had done was Android development instead. So it was a little bit of culture shift for me to shift from tech stacks. But the concept that I highlighted during my interview was that I know how to write code. I know the concept of states. I know the concept how states are managed. For example, if you have done React, you must be aware of the concepts. And when I came over here for the first 3 months, I had rigorous training in which all of the concepts were taught from scratch. We were given courses and we were expected to be uh, to train along with them, and there was ample time given to upskill. So say if I didn't have any experience in web development, even I was able to catch up. So the timeline was sufficient, and you were given even enough space to cope up. Along with that, you had study buddies assigned to you. If you had any doubts, you can just run into them and ask them any questions, and they'll clarify it for you. Even if I had a particular doubt in a topic, they used to sit along with me and clear my basics. So I'll say that it was a very collaborative session in the first 3 months. And after that, when we were onboarded onto the main project, the tasks initially that we were given were small, bit-sized tasks. For example, solving a small bug in the platform, UI bugs or logic bugs in the platform. But even for those, we used to get ample time. And slowly, as time progressed, we were expected to catch up with the pace and match with what our seniors are doing. So, all in all, the internship experience has been quite good in my experience so far.
Great, sir. Uh, so, sir, how is the work-life balance at RTDS for an intern or a new joiner?
Okay. Before answering this question, I would like to clarify to my audience that what actually RTDS does. I think we should have covered this earlier, but anyways, one part of RTDS is cloud hosting, and one part is cloud telephony. So I'll be focusing on the cloud hosting part where I am working at. The cloud hosting platform is similar to what you see on AWS. We provide cloud related services. So the product that I am working on, that will be centric around cloud, right? For example, if you are having virtual machines, or if you want networking in the cloud, or if you want load balancers in the cloud, that is what we provide in our platform. And with that, all our work revolves around this stuff. So, and answering your question, work life balance, it has been great so far. We also have some fun games, and we have a cafeteria where you can hang out with your friends. So, I don't think there is any issue with the work life balance. We work more, we enjoy more, and we also have team parties where we can bond. So, it has been great so far.
So that was great information.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would personally like to share with all the students, a moment at the company or something?
Okay. So, uh, yeah, like mostly I said, I am in the technical team. So I used to get stuck in some of the basic things. For example, we have a language, you must be learning JavaScript in your uh, college curriculum and etc. We use TypeScript over here. So with added functionalities we have, you are bound to get stuck in some features. So I'll say that I had some few uh, funny moments with my seniors where I used to get stuck for 2 hours or 3 hours, and the solution turned out to be very simple. So I'll say that that was a very helpful moment for me, where they used to help me come out of that stuck mind state. So,
Okay, sir, that was a great experience. So, sir, there are some questions from the students. So,
okay.
may I ask you that?
Yeah, feel free.
So, sir, there's a student, he's asking, is there any CGPA criteria?
I think so that that CGPA criteria was not exactly, told to us when we were uh, applying for RTDs, but they did do their shortlisting for the OA. Not everybody was able to give the OA. So I think there must be some criteria on which they shortlist students to give for the OA.
Okay, sir. So
Yeah.
the next question is there any branch eligibility?
Um, Branch eligibility, I'm not sure of that again, but I had applied from the computer science. A friend of mine at a colleague of mine, he is from ECE branch, so I think so. There must not be any branch eligibility, I think, but you have to show your technical expertise in the interviews. That is something that is sure.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, can you please tell the total number of rounds with what was asked in each?
Yeah, like I told, that the first round was the OA round, which was organized in our labs. It comprised of, I guess, three sections. SQL. There were two SQL questions. Last time, the format might change. That is something that is floating. But I'm telling about last year. There were some aptitude questions and some DSA questions as well in that way. I guess there were two DSA questions in that way, and the topics were very varied. In the SQL, mostly the topics were around joins, like how you can implement the joins. A problem statement was given, and you had to write SQL code to match that functionality. Like a problem was given, and you had to solve it using SQL. Tables were given, table schema was given, and you had to get the query results using your skills, SQL. And that was for the first round, OA round. Then we had an HR round that was like you get questions where you select that what would you do in each situation, what describes you well. So that behavioral questions were there. After that round, we had a technical round. A technical round, uh, the questions were varied. For example, like all around the MERN stack, what is MongoDB and how you can run MongoDB queries inside the shell, and how do you make MongoDB connections on the cloud? How do you scale that? And apart from that, we had React questions. The React questions all around, like how do you make components? Some problem statement was given to you, and you had to solve it using React. For example, small components you had to write. And there were varied questions, like friends of mine, everybody was asked something else or regarding that, but the main topics were around MERN itself. Then uh, for Node.js, they asked some backend questions like how do you do routing in that. So they were expecting you to have solid fundamentals of your web development. And since I did not have web development experience, I shared my experiences across Android development, since they used to match most of the times, like how we manage states. And then after the technical round, we had the CTO round. The CTO round was more around behavioral questions, like I just told, like how would you behave in the situation. Three or four questions were asked to me. Apart from that, I was asked cloud fundamentals. For example, how do you scale an application if your application is not performing well? What are all the issues that could be underlying that problem? And after the CTO round, the next step we got was the offer letter. So these were all the steps that we had. I guess four rounds for this company.
Okay, sir. So like you shared that you had Android development
Yeah.
skills. So there's a child, he's asking that he has done machine learning. So
Okay.
is will it be necessary for him to study web dev too?
Uh, I guess in our company they focus on like your web dev fundamentals. If you can, you do not need to have a top notch projects in web development for that. But if you can justify them that I know the basics of React, I know the basics of how to connect with a database, and I know how to write scalable code, I know how to write a backend, then it works for them. And if you're saying for software development role, I think that will be necessary for that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So so the next question is. what is the working hours and the workload in the company?
Okay, working hours, we have nine hours of office time in the work, and we work, we enjoy, we all uh, vibe, you can say. So all of our seniors are very cool and chill. So you can expect uh, that it's not just work that we do, we also enjoy a lot. And but I would say that it's up to you that how you utilize your time, how you utilize your stint at a company, and how you upskill yourself. So what we also have a concept here is uh, that in the free time you can upskill. You They give you courses. The courses can be from their side, or if you want to opt for them, you can choose as well, and you can upskill at any time that you feel fit. So that's something that I like about the company.
That sounds great, sir.
Yeah.
Uh, and sir, the next question is, what is the scheduled dates between GAPOA round and technical CTO round? What's the time
I
gap?
See, that is something that the HR can answer more. I don't think there is a hard and fast answer to this question. But in my case, what we had, that entire process was handled in one single day. So we gave the OA in the morning, then the behavioral questions by the HR that I told, and then the technical as well as the CTO round. We had it in the same day in the evening. So that is something that might differ, I guess. Uh, that you'll know as the time comes.
Yes, sir. Yes. And so one student is asking, what would you suggest to practice lead code hard or code force problems
Okay. In Is he asking for any general or for this company?
for this company only? RTDS.
Okay. Okay. So I don't think so that lead code hard or code forces problems are required, because what we evaluate while hiring someone is that how good they can be to the development side of our product. So if you are more into your technical skills, you can code well, then it doesn't matter if you haven't done many lead code hard problems. So I'll say that development is more that we seek for while hiring someone.
Okay, sir. So, sir, if someone is doing DSA, which topics they should must cover
I'm sorry, please come up again.
for RTDS?
Uh,
So, what types of questions regarding DSA are asked?
okay. In my Now the DSA questions were varied across all sets. Like everybody had a different DSA question. To be honest, like some were around arrays, some were around matrices, some were around uh, you know like two pointers or sliding windows. So everybody, like all of my friends, when we discussed after the DOA, everybody had a different question on their screen.
So,
But
sir, are
but the
there
questions
any
were solvable. Yeah.
okay, sir. So, sir, are there any must-do topics in DSA?
Like I said, with DSA, there is no must to do topics with any company. Like it's something that you know on the fly that which question is being asked at the moment, and it's not necessary that these set of questions will come or this will not come, this topic will come or this will not come. So while preparation, I would suggest you all to have a holistic uh, you know section of problems that you are solving on lead code, and there is no specific topic that I will suggest for this company.
Okay, so most of the students have DSA related questions only.
Yeah,
So I
I can
think
see that. Even we used to have that which question will come, which will not. But the questions, they remain different. Like everybody gets a different set. Some might have questions on DP, some might have questions on stacks, some might have question on binary search. So that varies a lot. It's very difficult to generalize.
yes, sir. So the next question is, what is the duration of internship and on which basis are PPO given?
Okay. Um, like I'm still an intern, so I can't answer the second question. But I'll say that my duration for internship was the 6 months. It started in January, and it's still going on. So that will be something that will be mentioned on your offer letter, I guess. And while the company will be uh, coming on campus, you'll get to know that.
Okay, so
Yeah,
so I think yeah, so
uh,
most of the questions are regarding DSA only. So I think you have covered that up.
yeah. I can see one more question. Is there any bond? No, we do not have any bond at RTTS.
Okay, so is there any other students who would like to ask more questions?
Uh, Please feel free. Just make this session interactive. Mhm. Just ask them to raise their hands, and then you can call them out one by one.
Yes, sir. So someone is asking, does the company focus more on web dev or DSA?
In my case, it focused more on web dev, like I just told.
Okay, so and is the internship on site and or we have to relocate if they say?
Uh, yeah, so in my case, the internship is on site, 5 days working, and uh, do we have to relocate? It's up to you. Like if you want to relocate over there is no compulsion. But for example, I haven't relocated over there. I put down. This is the
Okay, so and so how many students does typically RTDS hire?
again an HR question. I can't tell. But in my case, we have, um, I guess, um, 3 students were hired from our batch last year.
Okay, so a student is asking, do we have to have the prior knowledge of technologies like OpenStack?
No, you're not expected to have prior knowledge of the technologies we use here. Like I said, we give an elaborative training period for the interns, and you do not need to worry. Just the fundamentals of whatever tech stack, for example, MERN in uh, the software development role, and Docker and networking and Linux and operating system for the uh, DevOps role. That's all is required for the interview.
Okay, sir. So, and a student is asking, do we have enough time to manage our seventh and eighth semesters along with our full-time internship?
Okay, so my internship that started in my 8th semester. So, and the 8th semester that the college offers is doesn't have any other courses. Like either you do internship or you do your major project. So it's the only thing that you are expected to do in your 8th semester. And plus, like I told, the internship is held in the 8th semester, so no issue with what you do in the 7th semester.
Okay, so and the next question is, can we apply for both roles?
No, while applying, you have to choose which one you are applying for. Based on that, you will be given an OA, and based on that, your further rounds will be organized. But you can't apply for both roles.
Okay, so I think so. The questions are over by the students.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, so it was so great to have you with us. So I think there's another question. Can we get
Okay.
hired with front end projects only with average knowledge of backend?
Look, I can't give an answer to that. That depends how you perform in your interview. Uh, It's just that if you can, if you are able to showcase that you have that appropriate knowledge of a full stack application, that how the flow remains, how API calls are remain, then maybe we can consider. But you have to show that you are the best eligible candidate among all others.
Okay, so so the last, is there any other student who wants to ask any questions? Uh, how much prior full stack internship important?
Mm. Focus on your skills more than the experience, I'll say that. um, like I showcased them my product, what I was working on, and since it was an Android app, I had it on my phone. But if you have your websites, it's good if you can show them. But I'll say there is any experience any experience in full stack internship does count towards the interview. We have more questions coming.
Yes, sir. So there's a question. Do they require candidates to write code during the interview?
I was asked to write code on a piece of paper. I was given a piece of paper and asked to code whatever they were saying. So if you can explain the approach and then code it out, then all good.
Okay, sir. Sir, so another question is, during the interview, did they ask you to run your projects or to explain them?
Yeah, they did tell me to explain my projects, like what they were around, what the core idea was, how I coded them out, and how I had organized my projects, like if they were deployed or not. Yes, they did ask.
Okay, so there's another question regarding the preparation of OA round, but I
Mm,
think you have explained
it's
that.
yeah, it's generic.
Okay, so there's another question. Do we have to write our code for DS or React on pen paper?
I think that the DSA questions that were asked during the OA that we added, that we coded on the laptop, sorry, lab computers itself. For the interview, they gave me a page and they asked me to write out the code. So that is something that any interview would expect you to do. For a coding interview, you are expected to write at least the pseudo code for whatever they are telling you.
Yes, sir.
And like I mentioned out, I wasn't asked React because I didn't know React at that time. But for the backend part that they asked me, I wrote the code on the paper.
Okay, sir. So I think they were all the questions for today.
Yeah,
And it was our pleasure to have you with us. And thanks a lot for the valuable time you gave to us. I think the students have got great information from you, and it would
even
help
I
them a
enjoyed
lot.
the session. Yeah, thanks for the session. Even I enjoyed the session.
Thank you so much, sir. It was great interacting with you.
Okay.
The students are asking about that.
So I think
Uh,
someone is asking for a referral.
Referral, like I'll say that we referral is more for when you are experienced or like that. But this, since this company comes on campus, I guess if you have the good skills, you can refer yourself in the interview. We do not have this concept yet. Like we are interns, we can't refer yet. So
I think there's another question regarding what could be the good CGPA for getting shortlisted.
no idea.
Okay, sir.
No idea of that. Like this is something that the shortlisting is done from the HR side, I guess. So I'm not aware of that.
Yes, sir. So, sir, I think that's it for today.
Okay.
It was a great session. Thank you, sir.